Hi everyone, it's Eddie here. Today I want to show you how I spray prints that are on the carnival tissue. These are tissue prints from my last video, the paisley metallic prints. And so if you haven't watched it, you can go back and watch how I ended up with these really shiny, beautiful prints. But I'm going to enhance them with some sprays, some ink sprays. I have some dilutions, I have some distress spray stains, I have some shimmer sprays. So I'm just going to play around and let's see what we can accomplish. The other thing I have is one of the prints I did on just a piece of plain paper, and we'll play around with that. And then I have this other print that I did with my mask, with my stencil party mask. This is also on the carnival tissue, so we can spray that and enhance that. And then the other thing, I was doing, looking for some paper yesterday, and I found that I had some of this left. This is a kind of rice paper. I don't know exactly what kind, but there's some rice paper there. This is another kind of paper, and you see it has, it's like, I want to say it's a rice paper, but it's also got these bits of paper in there, fibers. So it's probably more of a paper, like just regular paper. But hey, let's spray it and see what we can get. So the other things I use when I do this, I got a silicone mat. So if anything, gets on the mat, it's easy to wipe up. And then I have my sponges. These are just cheapo sponges. They come in rounds. I got like a dozen for a couple bucks on Amazon, and then I just cut them up and use them to when I'm doing stuff like this, or if I'm trying to get paint to a stencil or what have you. So it's always good to have. I keep them in a little Ziploc bag. I've got water, because sometimes these sprays can be really intense, so we might mix in some water just to tone it down a little bit. And I've got some baby wipes, and these come in very handy. Plus, remember, with these baby wipes, once we're done, you can hang them up to dry and then use them in other projects. So, always making for the future while we're making for the present, if that makes any sense. So let's start with this one. Let's see, I was thinking possibly, I want to spray this from the back, and this is why. You see all of this metallic paint. I don't want to lose that shiny goodness. So I think I'm going to spray this from the back because it won't go through the shiny, the solid bits. It shouldn't. So let's see here. I think should we do some black, and let's try this dilution spray. It's what is it called here? They write it so small. This is Periwinkle Blue. So let me give this a good shake. You always want to shake these, and I need a napkin. Just got a tissue here. Just 'cause you always want to wipe off the nozzles on these after you use them, so you don't clog them up. Yeah. So I hope everyone is doing well. Things are, plugging along here, just trying to get some art made. And I'm going to add a little water to that because that seems quite strong. So I just go over the tissue. And this is when a silicone mat comes in really handy, because these guys can take a beating. So let's do this. I'm going to sop some of that up. Get back on here. So, oops. Let me go ahead. Let's see what else. Come on. And you can wear gloves doing this if you want. I know some people don't like dirty fingers, but sometimes that's unavoidable in art, especially mixed media. Should be going down a little smoother, but you know, it's okay. Get it there. So let's see. You see this shiny is still showing. And we got some nice blue going on in the background. Let's just keep going. Just get it done. I'm just going to spray it on there. Sometimes the sponging works, sometimes it doesn't. I know there's some people who use makeup sponges. I don't have any, I just use these inexpensive ones. I go in between the water and the ink and just kind of go along. And it's a wet strength tissue that I'm using. That's why I can be a little bit rougher with it than if this were, say, just regular wrapping tissue. Because that stuff can rip quite easily. You can certainly spray it. I've done it. You just have to be a little bit more careful. Like sometimes rubbing like this over and over in a certain area will rip that regular tissue. Let's see what we've got. Oh, that's lovely. Don't forget, this will lighten up once it's dried. But I think it'll be really cool. Get some of these edges while we're here. And the thing with the silicone mat is the stuff, as you're working, usually doesn't dry so quickly, so you got a chance to scoop it up, you know, and so I take advantage. Get a little bit, just right there. Just right there. And these are going to take a little bit to dry here because I have, today is rather like rainy and yucky. A lot of humidity, but I can always bring out my heat gun. Yeah, I got it plugged in. Let's try the heat gun on this and just try and get at least one of these dried. Okay. It's pretty dry. That's really cool. And you see with the dye, you got some purple tones in there, along with the blue. It's really nice. Okay, let me set this to the side. Now, for drying purposes, I have a sheet of cardboard sitting behind me that I'm going to just rest these on as they dry. Baby wipe time, in case we choose a different color. So let me get my fingies. This will come off eventually. I wouldn't panic too much. I mean, if you are, get some gloves. Nothing wrong with that. I do not like working with gloves. It's annoying. And for something like this, I'm not worried about it. Very cool. Alright, so what's the next one? This one is mainly the bronze color, which is actually, the jar said, or the bottle says solid bronze, but it looks like copper to me, but who might argue? Let's see, what color I have could be used for this. Should we try the purple? I have two purples here. One is a lavender lilac, and the other one is crushed grape. So maybe we'll do combination of both, perhaps. So maybe this time what I'll do, again, going from the back so I don't kill my shiny, let's spray a little of both on the sheet and then put in some water, spray on some water and see what that does. Let's see. Ooh, that's really pretty. Wipe my nose. This is the lilac. Laid back lilac. Oh, fancy. Fancy. This one's a little bit more intense, but it's so beautiful. Spray this with water. And take my sponge and just go all around. Now, you may be wondering what I use these for. Well, you can use them for collage. You can use them to decorate tags, your journal tags, you know, bits and pieces or the whole thing. You can use them in your junk journal or your art journal. Let's see what that did. Ooh, that's very nice. Very nice. Now, some of this that you see that's white, that's not the tissue, that's silver paint that was on the tissue as well. Okay. Let's give this a little hit with the heat gun. Now, there's nothing wrong as well with if you're not satisfied with the color, once it's completely dry, you know, go again. Okay, liking that. Set that one aside. And this was kind of a flop-off sort of deal where the stencil had a lot of paint left and the brayer had, so I put that on there in the copper. And then once that dried, I did another print that had where I used the black. There's still black on the stencil, so I just laid it on top and rubbed it and got that. So we got a beautiful print here. Let's add to it. Let's see what we can get from this. Let's try the rose. This is rose quartz. Give it a good, always give it a good shake because things will settle. So now I'm going to spray this without spraying any water on the paper and see what happens. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. Doesn't come through as strong, and that's okay. Let's see. Put some in the front. And then come in with the sponge and just clean up that stuff on the outside and fill in the spaces. Oh, lovely. This is a beaut. Now, when I pick up these sprays, I only pick them up when they're on a good sale because they can be pricey. So often they will just do like, you know, seasonal colors on sale or like special colors. I think this was like a set, a couple of sets that I bought of the Dilutions were like an older season or something, so they were on super special. I think I got them at michaels.com. And you get a good deal when they're having, you know, a special, especially when, you know, let's say you get a certain amount, you get free shipping, and then if you buy a certain amount, you get a percentage off, or, you know, buy one, get one half off. Those are all great deals for stuff like this because it's always more beneficial to you, allows you to get more colors. So don't go spending regular price on this stuff, honestly. Okay. Look at that. And see, the copy paper soaks up a lot more than the tissue, obviously, but it's going to be more delicate because it's just paper. It's not a wet strength paper, but it's going to hold up well. Now, I got some shiny stuff here. This is bubblegum pink. And this is you see, it's a metallic. So I'm going to shake that really well. That's pretty good. Okay. All right. I've never tried this one before, so let's give this a go. In order to see the shiny, you're going to want to let this dry a little bit. But I mean, you can already see. I don't mind the drips there. All right, let's try some of this plain paper. That's like the textured paper. Right? I want to try this turquoise color here. This is how can I read this? Vibrant turquoise. Okay. Let's see what we get here. Well, maybe we can mix this with the periwinkle or one of the other sprays. Water. Get some water on here. Not too much because this is a delicate paper. I love that. You see how it separates? And you get this halo of another color. And look how the water changes it. It activates it, and it does cool stuff. Okay, Eddie. Careful. Just scoop some of this up. See? You can see that how the water just makes the colors separate, that like spread out. It's almost like a tie-dye effect. Okay, what's our next color? Let's wipe that. Let's try some of this grape color. We'll do a little bit over here. And then spray with some water. watch it do its thing. Fascinating. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another piece of tissue used to scoop up some of this extra spray. Yeah, look at that. Filthy. Maybe soak some of that up. Oh, look at that. And I'm going to take this, get this little corner here. And maybe we'll try another color on this side. Got this fossilized amber. We'll try some of that. This is a Tim Holtz Distress Spray. It's running out too. I gotta add some water to it. Or it's clogged, I don't know. It's not clogged. Well, after the video, I'll give it a little rinsey poo. Oh, okay, water. Let's see. Oh, I ripped it, see? That's what I mean. It's very delicate paper, so I'm gonna let it sit for a second. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm gonna set it off to dry completely. This next print is a gold, mostly gold. There's some brass in there, and then some of the, this is basically me cleaning the stencil, and the stencil, the tissue pulling up some of that other dried paint off the stencil, so you get this really cool grungy thing going on. So what color do I want? Just go this way, make it a little easier for me. What have we not tried? I think we've tried them all. Well, not the shiny ones. Oh, the fuchsia. I haven't used the fuchsia yet. This is fuchsia, or funky fuchsia. Now, see, some of that got on there, but that's okay. I'm going to spray this first with water. And we'll go from there. A little more water. Spongy here and try to spread some of the dye around. I'm going to get some periwinkle. I'm going to spray some of that in these areas that don't have too much of the fuchsia in it. Let me hit it with water again. That. This one's gonna be pretty. And usually, you know, if you know how to make one, you can make a lantern out of these papers, because this is typical. This is, you know, originally what carnival tissue was created for, is to make paper lanterns. So you could, you know, make these into lanterns. I don't know how to make one. I may have to learn and make a little lantern out of some of these really pretty papers. If you guys know of a video, a tutorial on how to make these paper lanterns, drop it in the comments, because I would love to learn how to make one. And I'm sure a lot of you out there have seen them before, and maybe you have a favorite. That would be really cool if you could help me out there. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, before I pick this up, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the heat gun for a little bit, just to so I don't accidentally rip it, because it's very damp. All right, let's get this to the drying boards. All right, what do we do with the red? I'll get some blue spray. I have another couple of blues. Okay, let's use this. This is Salty Ocean Distress Spray. Now this one, I have added water to it because it was running low, so it's not as intense as it used to be, but that is okie dokie. Yeah, see, this was more intense, but you know, when you get down to almost nothing, it's okay. Add a little water and use it up. And okay, so we've got that. Put in some turquoise. I think that's good, yeah. For this one, instead of the sponge, I'll use a piece of tissue and go around and soak up some of the extra. That way, I've got a cool tissue paper for another day. All right, I'm just gonna flip this over. Let's get this side sorted. Oh, this is gonna be really nice, really nice. I just want to even it out a little bit more, like on the edges in the corner. Maybe we'll get some, spray some on my sponge. And there is some silver paint on here, so if you still see white areas, that's the silver paint. But that also is really, adds a really cool effect to the whole thing. So far, I like it. And I'm trying to think if we need to add anything else. Ooh, you know what we could add is some of this. Let's try this. This is white linen shimmer spray. There we go. That's going to be really interesting. Hit it with some water. Now the heat gun. I'm trying if I can handle it. Oh, that's really pretty. All right, that still has to finish drying. Okay, this is a cad red. You can do purple. I'm gonna do purple. Why not? I like taking risks. This is again crushed grape. Get this a little more flat. Hit it with some of this blue. Just in, certain areas. Give this a little dabby dab. All right, let's get some heat to this. Yeah, I like that. Just really wonderful colors. Okay, so this has golds. It's got some red, iron oxide red. Let's see, it's got some different colors. Kind of, to me, it's leaning towards like an olivey green sort of vibe. So I thought I'm going to use this one, the Wild Honey Spray, Distress Spray. First, I want to give it a good spray with water. Again, I'm working from the back of the print. Again, this one, I believe, yeah, this one has been watered down slightly because it's running low. So I give it some water, and there we have it. Yeah, I like that. Then there's that green I wanted. Here, this is peeled paint. I'm going to give it a couple of drops of that. I'm going to paint the border too, so I have that tissue, and it's just not, wasted, because I can use it on its own, like these border strips. All right, so I'm taking this. I'm going to take a piece of this tissue and kind of blot some of this. spraying brought out some of the purple that's kind of in through here, because this is part of a long haul print. And you can see some of the different layers there. Okay, I'm going to hit this one with some of this. Oops, this pure sunshine spray. This is shimmer spray. Get some of that off of there. There we go. All right, let's hit it. That's good. I like that. That's beautiful coloring. That is fabulous. It's so shiny. Okay, set this aside. I need to. So for now, this one, this is the rice paper. I think we'll just keep it on here. Why not? I got to be gentle again with this one. This one will rip. You see there. So let's be careful. Maybe if I flip this on here without transfer. Look at that. Anyway, what color are we going to do? I think for this one, I'm going to do the turquoise. Here we are, turquoise again. Right in front of me, I didn't even see it. This is the vibrant turquoise. And then, come on, some of this blue here. This is the water-bound salty ocean. And periwinkle, a little bit of that. And then some of this wild honey. That'll be fun. All right, I'm digging it. Water. Watch the magic. I love it. It's all mixing. Let me see if any of this will spread. Just kind of help it a little bit. Some of that shiny business on there. This is fun. Look at that. I am loving this one. This rice paper really takes the color on well. And you see how beautiful when you spray it with the water, the different effects it creates, and how it spreads and mingles with its other color buddies. lovely. All right, I'm going to clean up a bit, and then I'll come back and I'll show you. We'll go through all the prints that we did. Hello, back again here, and it's all the papers have dried, so let's go through them. These are the little extra bits of carnival paper that I used to pick up the the spray off, the extra. So I got fun little papers to play with, and then this was the handmade. I want to call it like a handmade type of paper. Textured paper, but look at how that turned out. You see how beautiful the gradations are, and then the mixing. This is I think this was the front, because it's more intense. This was the front. But, I mean, both sides are equally beautiful. So I've got this wonderful paper to work with. This is the rice paper. And this turned out so nice. And this is a good example of when I was saying that the inks, once they're dry, they do dry lighter. So, keep that in mind. I mean, look at some of these really cool designs that pop up once you spray it with water. And it all moves around and mixes. Very nice. And here's one that has there's the blues on the back, some bronze in the front, some gold, and then we added the white shimmer spray. So that's fun. Not my favorite as a whole piece, but I see pieces in here that I can use for different things to jazz them up. So that's that. This was a fun one. This was the bronze. Could be copper. It's the same. With the purple colors. And that turned out really nice. I like that. And here's the other one. And this was the one that had it's got black paint, bronze, gold in there, and we sprayed it from the back. And this one we used the sponge, so it's a little more streaky, but it works with the design of the stencil. You see what I'm saying? The swooping. So that'll be fun. Here's one of my favorites, I think. I wasn't sure about the purple with this, but it just really, really works, because this red was super bright without the spray inks, and once you hit it with the spray ink, it toned it down, but the gold is still nice and bright and shiny, and there's even copper in there, and there's some bronze. Oh, black. This is probably one of my favorites. It's just really beautiful. This one's another good one. And you see, this one was a lot darker when we first did it. But you see, once it dried, you see the subtleties in the colors and how they work against the gold, and just the metallics in general. I mean, even from the back, it's pretty cool. And then this is the one on copy paper that we used the shimmer pink on there. And the only thing is I should have been a little bit more careful, but as far as spraying it, but I think it worked out well. And the thing with this one is that it soaks through, and usually the paper inside isn't as white as it used to be, which is good, because it's thin paper. And then this is the last one. This one is super shiny, but I really like it. And this was the dilution spray. This is the Sunshine, or the Pure Sunshine, that I sprayed on there. And I think it's going to be a fun, piece of paper to play with. Because you can, I don't know, it's going to be hard to tell, but you can still see, you know, the greens and all the different colors in there. And if you look at it from the back, it's still pretty intense. And you see that the gold paint, the gold spray, the sunshine, whatever, it's intense. But I really like it, and I'm glad I did, you know, we did the borders as well, so that we can use that for something too. And these are great, you know, you add them a strip to an ATC, or use them in a collage, or when you're making like a tag or something, or, you know, working in your junk journal. They're great for, you know, adding bits of color and shine. It's wonderful, and you can really see the pattern of the stencil nicely. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you get some sprays and get out there and get messy. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon.